Oh, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. باب آداب التلاوة ودروس القرآن. The chapter with regards to the etiquette of the recitation of Quran and studying the Quran. Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, وقال الله تعالى ورتل القرآن ترتيلا, and recite the Quran tartil. If you look at the original copies of Mishkaat Shareef, there's only the Babun. What do you have in your kitab there? You got a proper picture there, eh? Babun. Now, normally, what if you remember correctly, that side in Mishkat, when you got the addendum, what does addendum mean? Some like an addition to what is previously mentioned. Then you just put the Babun or whatever. You don't put the heading. So when the Bab is linked to what is before it, when the Bab is linked to what is before it, you just put the addendum. So this is an addendum to the previous Bab. That's why it doesn't have really a separate heading. You understand what I'm saying? But he mentioned here that Mullah Ali Qari was the famous Shari, one of the main Shura. I tell you, if you look at all the Shuruhat of Hadith, normally they have a lot of explanation on the Hadith. But if you're looking for Nafsi Hadith, just the Hadith itself, oh yeah, I forgot you must remind me to tell you something after class. I'll finish off to tell you something. If you're looking just for the Hadith, Mishkaat is one of the best explanations of the Hadith. The Hadith. So he also put there, he put the appropriate Bab, appropriate outside, which is Babu Adabi Tilawati Nurusil Quran. So it's a appropriate heading. It captures encapsulates what the forthcoming Bab is about. Right, and even Al-Matini also mentions that. Okay, read the first hadith. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعن ابي موسى الاشعري, narrating authority of Abu Musa al-Ashari, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم said, تعاهدوا القرآن. So تعاهد القرآن means read continuously, read abundantly the Quran. فوالذي نفسي بيده, I think possibly the one who my soul in his hand, لهو the Quran أشد تفصيا. You can just for a moment, I'm going to explain this again. It flees more than a camel في أقلها in together. متفق عليه is a متفق عليه riwayat. So in the Shara is mentioned here that in previous times what the people would do is they would tie the camel by one leg to keep it in its place, doesn't run away, etc. So when the camel is kept away from water for a long while, and then when it's released, how quickly it rushes to drink water. It will rush to drink the water. It will run away, especially if maybe there's no like kept water there, so it will run to a natural water source. So it will flee quickly. You know what I'm saying? So what Nabi Sallallahu said there is that you must read the Quran constantly, because if you don't read it constantly, it will flee from you. What is it, Yusuf? In this context, it will flee from you. What it means? Huh? Yeah, what does the Quran running away means? Very good, mashallah. You will forget it. So this refers to both the Hafiz al-Quran, like you memorize 3 paras, Luqman. If you don't do door of that thing, you don't read it by heart, then you're going to forget it very, very quickly. You're going to forget it very, very quickly. And even a person that has learned what we say, we call it Nagara. You look in the, you don't read Quran. Maybe a person could be fluent in Quran. Maybe a person went to madrasa as a child, whatever, and learned to read the Quran fluently, etc. And then after that, a person neglected the Quran, right? Neglected the Quran, never read the Quran. That person will forget even how to look in the Quran and recite. How many people don't you see that maybe they knew how to read Quran, but then they got busy with their general life, marriage, took up a career, whatever. How many hufaz, they learned, they done hifz, and after they finished their hifz, they completed their school, then they went to university, they got caught up in that chakkar, studying, friends, the universities have maybe social life and all that type of thing, and then as a result of that, they forgot the Quran, or not. Okay, first day before forgetting the Quran, they neglected the recitation of the Quran, and eventually they forgot the Quran, right? So the only way you can retain, no matter how powerful memory got, or no matter how brilliant hafiz you are, the only way you can retain the Quran, the only way you can look after the Quran is by frequent recitation of the Quran, right? So the Nabi also is saying that how that camel, how quickly when it is released, how it runs towards the water, like when the school comes out, how the children run out. They're so happy at the end of the term that they finish now, like that. How they run hafiz or non-hafiz, if you don't recite the Quran frequently and you don't make a door of it, etc., then you're going to forget it. So you have to recite it abundantly. And then also maybe on a deeper level, this can also refer to the ulama, those people who have learned the tarjuma of the Quran, right? You can, all of us, we done complete tarjuma of the Quran, right? But now after you maybe for several years, you never pick up the kitabs. Now we give you one verse of the Quran and you say now make tarjuma of this year. You're unable to make tarjuma of it. That's why one of the advices for the ulama, graduating ulama, one is you can teach the kitabs, Arabic, that's nurun ala nur. But obviously it's not possible for everybody to teach Arabic because you only need a few amount of students. At least as an alim, what you must do is, if you can do tafsir maybe in the masjid, or you do ladies tafsir classes, whatever. But if you can't even do that, the minimum what you must do is you must at least make mutala of a few lines of the Quran every day. See that you know the correct translation of it, and take an easy tafsir like Ma'ariful Quran nowadays. You get in English even. You get tafsir Usmani, etc., and go over it. So for the bare minimum is you must at least know the translation and the basic understanding of every verse, every verse that our Mufti Sahib, like Madrasa Mufti Ram Salaji, came to be. He's constantly got Ma'ariful Quran. He makes khatams of Ma'ariful Quran. He makes khatams. You see where his office is. You got the Ma'ariful Quran there, the Arabic. He starts from one side and he makes just nothing, not to teach, not to lecture anything. He just makes mutala of it. So he makes mutala, that Ma'ariful Quran of the Mufti Shafi's, he's made mutala several times of it. It's about 12 volumes. And the last time I saw him, he was making mutala, also Ma'ariful Quran, but there's one Idris Kandelwi also. He was making mutala of Idris Kandelwi. So as an alim, you need to also keep your knowledge fresh. If you don't keep your knowledge fresh, then you also forget. Right? So for the ordinary layman, it will refer to at least reading the Quran regularly, otherwise you will forget. For a hafiz of the Quran, it will refer to reading from memory. And the ideal thing is if you can read to everybody each door every day. And if you can't do that, then at least at the bare minimum, in Ramadan, you perform Taraweeh, and then you read to somebody. And then also every year you read a different portion. You don't read the same portion every year. Because if you read the same portion, it's the only portion you're going to know. That's the only portion you're going to know. And then, and as an alim of deen, you have to keep your knowledge fresh. Keep do the translation extra. Carry on, read the next hadith.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: بئس ما لأحدهم أن يقول نسيت آية كيت وكيت بل نسي واستذكروا القرآن فإنه أشد تفصيا
because الخبر
فإنه أشد تفصيا من صدور الرجال من النعم.
Right. Okay. See, look at the interesting hadith. وعن ابن مسعود رأيتنا قال مسعود قال رسول بئس ما لأحد. How bad is it for anyone in this case? نسيت آية كيت وكيت. I forgot this verse and that verse. How bad is it? You must say that. بل نسي, but rather he has been made to forget. So, alright, واستذكر القرآن. Continue remember the Quran. فإن أشد تفصيا. It is more تفصيل. You can say fleeing. It flees more, right, from your min suduri rijal, from the hearts of people. Min al-na'mi, than the animal. I gave you the example just now, like how the animal flees when it's given a chance to go for the water, right? متفق عليه. It's a متفق عليه, right? Riwayat وزاد مسلم بأقلها. So in the same riwayat of Muslim Shareef has got من النعم بأقلها, like how the animal flees from his tether after he's tied up. So this hadith here, basically, it's mentioning the same thing which has been mentioned earlier, that you have to rehearse the Quran. If you don't, even like, if you, even like many times girls become hafiza, etc., etc. Then once they finish it, maybe as a student, they know the Quran brilliant also. That is why then now, the ladies, they have their off time menses, and then they get caught up with the children, and then they forget the Quran. So that is indeed a travesty. They have to take out time. They have to take out time. And that's for a hafidah, and I tell you, for a normal person to read at least. That we know that's discussed there, or that was discussed in the previous hadith. And just some look, tafassi is from the tafa'ala scale. Tafassa, yatafassa, at-tafassi. Right? Were you with me? But the different thing which is mentioned in the hadith here, don't say I forgot it, because that is disrespectful. Although maybe it's not intentional, but when you say I done it, it seems, although you never intentionally forget it, but it seems like you've intentionally forgot the salat, which is disrespectful. That's why you remember I told you always in the fiqh books they never say when a man misses his salah. They say إذا فاتته الصلاة, when the salat misses him. So if you look at it, it seems to be like semantics. It's just a play with words. But what it means is, I told you that a Muslim never intentionally misses his salah. That's why you don't say إذا فات الرجل الصلاة. In the Kitab of Qada'il al-Luqman, you don't say when this man missed his salah. Rather you say the salat missed him. And there's like a subtle indication there that, look here, as a Muslim, you don't intentionally miss your salah. But sometimes, due to extenuating circumstances, the salat misses you. Maybe you were caught in the traffic and there was no way to make wudu, or maybe you were very, very ill, you couldn't even read. Allah Ta'ala protect. You were incapacitated in hospital. Allah Ta'ala protect us. So same thing here. Don't say don't say when I forgot this verse, because that gives the impression that you were neglectful of the Quran, or that you didn't read the Quran, but rather, but Nusia, say he was made to forget, right? Rather say he was made to forget. That's why that the verse of the Quran at the end they got it dua وَذَكِّرْنَا مِنَهْ مَا نَسِينَا. So it's written there, isn't it? So the ulama said that's wrong. We must say مَا نُسِينَا, that Ya Allah, let us remember what we've been made to forget. So a Muslim doesn't intentionally forget the Quran. That's what it means. But rather due to extenuating circumstances, due to laziness, etc., etc. Sometimes he is made to forget it. So you don't actually intend to forget it. You understood the subtle difference between the other two men? You understood it? But the point I'm making, sure. So you read every day. How much you read every day? Did you perform Tarawih last year? Where? Huh? How many cards do you read? You read every day. Okay, so you must read. See, important. There's also the hadith of those people who forgot the Quran. Although that will come in the famous hadith and circumstances when Nabi Sallallahu went up to Mi'raj and he saw the people's heads being pulverized. He said these are the people who forgot the Quran. Although some ulama say that refer to forgetting the hifz of the Quran, some ulama say no, it refers to those people who forgot how to read the Quran. But nevertheless, whatever it is, you understand the importance of after you've been blessed with the Quran, you read it, and how nice you see. I mean, some people, as you see certain people, like ladies, despite their age, you see them still showing thirst for studying. They're becoming online, going to talim, going to tafsir classes, right? So keep your relationship, keep your ta'alluq with the Quran, establish you as ulama, inshallah, in your area. If you can't do the tafsir yourself, get somebody. You find some competent abba. She must start some tafsir. That the people reconnect with the Quran. Carry on.
صلى الله عليه النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال انما مثل الصاحب العمل كمثل صاحب معلق مثقلة ان عاهد عليها امسكها وان اطلقها ذهبت متفق عليه.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعن ابن عمر درجنا قال أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما مثل صاحب القرآن, very the likeness of a person of the Quran, كمثل صاحب الإبل المؤقلة, is like the person of the owner of a tethered camel, right? Same thing. You like our person is got the camel that is tethered up. The moment he releases it, what happens? It bolts, it flees. So you, the person that has the Quran, you know how to read the Quran. Let's say an elderly person, right? You are saying like that person. The moment that person releases the animal, it bolts away from him. The moment you release your Quran, what does it mean? You release your Quran. You neglect your Quran. As an ordinary person, that a nadira, you don't read the Quran anymore. Or as a hafiz, you don't make dua, you don't make muraja'ah. Or as an alim of deen, you stop making mutala of the kutub. You stop doing tafsir. Inshallah, before you leave the madrasa, we'll give you some advices that our ustad gave us, that if you are not teaching how to keep the knowledge fresh, we'll do that with you, inshallah. You're not leaving it, you're still here. But our marhum ustad Mufti Ibrahim Desai, he gave us an easy nuskha. What he gave us? Easy nuskha, Yusuf. 3 things you must do to keep your knowledge fresh if you're not in the field of teaching. If you're in the field of teaching, alhamdulillah, is the best way. But if you're not in the field, you're going to do maybe teaching the maktab, or you're going to do some business or whatever, you're going to run the ibutu, or you're going to run the darul inaya, whatever. He gave us an easy nuskha how to keep your knowledge fresh, that we share with you at that point in time. But as I said, the best thing is to involve yourself in teaching. So the person who possesses the Quran is like the owner, right? In ahada alayha, so if he ahada, he looks after it. In this context means he reads it abundantly, right? Amsakaha, he will keep in his place, keep it in his place. But in atlaqaha, so that person, if he releases the camel, what will happen? It will flee. It will flee away. So here, in other words, you neglect the Quran, you will lose the Quran very, very quickly. And then even you can take it even one further step also. We take one is, I told you, one is reading the Quran for an ordinary person. And then we said a hafiz is to read from memory, a alim is to look after the meanings. And we take it one further step also. But what about the practicing of the Quran? If you remain in the company of the pious people, you go Jamaat, you go 3 days, 10 days, or even if you don't go Jamaat, Jamaat is also one of the effective ways of looking after your deen. You go in Jamaat, there are many ways. Another way is you keep company with the ulama, you attend the programs, they have the pro. So fortunate, so unfortunate, so sad today. When there's a program in a masjid, when the Jamaat is there or the alim is there, how many people sit for the program? So to look after the practicing of the Quran, how do you do that? By spending time in the company of the pious people. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullaha wa kunu ma'as sadiqin. You go in Jamaat, you spend time with the pious people, you sit in the company of the ulama, you listen to your lectures. So if you become, I'm taking it a fourth step further even, if you become negligent, you become casual about your deen, practice when you want to, don't practice when you want to, eventually you will lose that also, and you'll end up with nothing. So the way of looking after your deen is to keep company with the ulama, discuss with them, make mashara with them, discuss all your matters. My son want to study, what should he study? We want to do this, we want to do that, what should we do? Okay, one more hadith, time is almost up.
جند بن عبد الله رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اقرأوا القرآن ما ائتلفت عليه قلوبكم فإذا ائتلفتم فقوموا عنه متفق عليه.
Here's another interesting, very interesting adab that I'll explain first, then we'll read it. But read the Quran as long as you still got desire for it. Read the Quran as long as you still got the energy. Don't read so much Quran. Sometimes you push yourself so hard that you are so tired now and you are not even reading properly. So that's why the ulama also mentioned, besides this with regards to Quran, but with ibadat in general also, that don't do so much ibadat like maybe big nights or something like that. Don't read so much that you feel that, oh, I'm so tired, I done too much, I can't do anymore. Stop just before you get satiated. Why? Because if you stop before you get satiated, you have a desire to do it again. You understand what I'm saying? So same thing here. وعن جنوب بن عبد الله narrating author جنوب الله قال رسول الله said اقرأوا القرآن ما ائتلفت عليه قلوبكم. Read Quran as long as your heart is ائتلفت means familiar with it. But I would say nice way to translate, as long as your heart is inclined. فإذا اختلفتم, but now when you lose concentration, right, then فقوموا عنه, stand up, take a break, and then you come back when you are again full of energy and full of desire. So from this hadith also, this, you mustn't do your whatever ibadat you do, don't do it half-heartedly. Don't do it. That is why also there's a hadith, isn't that if a person is extremely hungry, which is rare in our case. Now we eat 3 meals a day, but like if a person is really hungry and the food is presented to him, then they should rather eat, even if it's salat time. I remember asking my ustad this on a Harun Abbas over, even if it's Jamaat Salah, he says, yes, if a person is really, really hungry and the Jamaat Salat is staying up, it's better for him to eat, and while he's eating, he's thinking about to read Salah, rather than him standing in the masjid and he's reading Salah and he's thinking about the food. But I told you, we don't know what is hunger. We just refer to, remember in Sahaba Ikram's time, it was real hunger. People used to eat maybe once a day or twice a day maximum. They considered, I was reading one article, somebody came from some overseas and he was saying that you people eat 3 times a day, making israf. You are wasting food. So the same principle I was trying to draw your attention to this here, that rather let your food become salat and so your salat become food. So same thing, when you have lost, when you're tired, etc., then rather stop, refresh, recalibrate, and come back again when you're full of energy. We stop there, go for your next period. What period you have now is? Huh? Muslim 2.